Now, for those of you who are not acquainted with certain documentation or documents that is involved in land purchase, this morning I want to do you that honor by getting you acquainted with some of these documents. You can see what I'm holding here in my hands. If you are buying a land from a developer or from a company, from the family or Monile or whatever it is called in the land or area where you're buying from, you should be used to this document. Now, this is a receipt, okay? Yes, this is a receipt. These days we have electronic receipts that you can be issued with when you purchase a land. Then these receipts can be printed. Of course, you can print your copy. The company can print and sign as well as send to you. So you have a receipt that can come in this form. It can come in any form. And then you have a contract of sales, okay? Now, a contract of sales is issued when you make your deposit for that land, especially if you're doing payment plan. If you're buying the land using the PSS plan, you get a contract of sales. Now, the contract of sales contains the deal at which you have an agreement for with the developer. So, if you buy a land or pay for a land, you'll get a receipt, which I've showed you. You can get this in electronic form. You can get this in colored form. You can get this in, the manual receipts, that you're used to. Okay, and you can get the contract of sales. Now, at least 2 or 3 copies of these as contract of sales will be coming to you. Now, other documents that you can get in the course of your transaction of buying yourself a land could also be an invoice. You could also get an invoice for that transaction, right? Especially if there's an proper accounting system being set up by the company. You get a receipt, you get an invoice. Now, you may not be issued an invoice, it is not too important, but the receipt contains that you made this payment and you have been receipted for that payment. Now, while an invoice will contain how you're making your payments, the updates as your payment come, and then your outstanding, your balance. So, invoice contains all of those accounting details for more clarity. However, receipt is straight and direct. So, I talked about the contract of sales. I know a lot of you may not be used to these other documents. Now, what I'm holding in my hands is a survey. This is a survey document, okay? Yes, so I'm not going to make it very visible so that you don't see the owner, the name of the owner here. So this is a survey document. You can see the papyrus. This is the original papyrus. Yeah, so when you're being issued a survey, you get a copy of this, a papyrus, and you also get in the normal plain paper sheet. Now you get a survey when you are due for location, as developers do. Yes, when you're due for location, your survey should be ready for that allocation. So if you look at this, you see that this is a survey for our clients who bought a property, land, and this is just a plot of land, 500 square meter land size. Now the survey will come with the name of the owner of that plot. It will come with a description and address of that plot or where the plot is located in, the estate name or the site name, the local government, and even the state. It also comes with a size. Okay, you may not see it, but I can give you that transcription here. So it comes with a size 500 square meter. If it's 1,000 square meter, you get 1,000 square meter. I've got a lot of questions from I've gotten a lot of questions from clients and investors who have said, "Oh, what is the standard size for land?" Now this varies from one state to another, from one estate to another, from one urban scheme to another. The areas where land size go for 640 square meter, the areas where land size go for 600 square meter, the areas where land size go for 500 square meter, and then people do 300 square meter as half plot or 250 square meter as half plot. Now, for some estates, you may be getting for 500 square meter per plot, and that is because some of the sizes will be considered in for setback. So for this survey, it contains a 500 square meter land size. You can see the proposed road, okay, that is in front of the land. You can see the land itself, the shape at which the land contained, or the shape at which the land will come in, and then other information such as the name of the surveyor who worked on this land, the name of the surveyor who did the mapping or lifting, as it is called in other parts of Nigeria, this land. You have the name, you have the address, and possibly the seal of the surveyor, okay? Over here, you have the seal of the surveyor, you have the signature of the surveyor, usually a registered surveyor. Then over here you have the plan number for the property. So this plan number has plan number OE8 and then some numbers 494262, the year, and so then some alphabets. So what a plan number does is, if this is registered, you can use the plan number to chart the registration for this land and get more information. So when you're issued a survey contains the information for the land that you have acquired yourself. It also contains coordinates. With these coordinates in any part of the world, you can pinpoint via Google Earth, Google Map, or whatever instrument, you can pinpoint your land with these coordinates. Now, one interesting thing about the survey is that when you're issued a survey, it goes to show that you have a land and a project. You can also spot and identify your land in that project. Now, another accompanying document to survey is what we call deed of assignment. The deed of assignment, just like the contract of sale, is a document that shows that you have a deal with the vendors of the land. The difference here is that with your deed of assignment, you can process your title with the government ministry, and it also contains that everything has been transferred to you, the title of the land, the assets, the liability, everything has been transferred to you. Now you get deed of assignment when you have paid in full. You get your deed of assignment, you get your survey when you're paid in full. Now some companies go as far as giving you a letter of allocation. A letter of allocation is just a formal letter that states that, oh, we have conferred you the title and the land that you paid for. You know, it's just a formal way of saying you have been allocated, and all of the other details and conditions will be stated in. Now, for a ready-to-build estate, you may get information such as, or documents such as the estate building guide. Now, this guide will show you what the building code is, what you can build, what you're not allowed to build, then the conditions, the measurements to consider in terms of setbacks, in terms of cantilevers, in terms of working space, green space, and all of the other provisions that will keep the estate in good shape. So I believe you've learned something about common or basic documents that you need to work with or see when you're purchasing a land. I showed you a receipt. Okay, I talked about an invoice, I talked about a receipt, I talked about contract of sales, I talked about a survey, and then a deed of assignment. Okay, so they're very, very basic, and it's important that you see these documents when you're transacting or carrying out a transaction for a land purchase especially, and even for buildings, right? Now, not to forget, when you make deposits, what you should expect first is your receipt and then contract of sales. Now, when you're done with your payment, you can get your deed of assignment, you can get your survey that shows that you're good to go and you have been allocated. Any other thing will just be a ceremony for the allocation and you're good to go. You can take possession. Okay? So, see you on the next tip, a real estate tip with Solomon Everest, a real estate conversation with Solomon Everest. Make sure you don't miss out in my video. If you like what you've heard, please subscribe, like, and share this video for more real estate content. Yeah. Thank you, and God bless you.